Housing options at prices local residents can afford. That's the grand vision.
Why do you need a home?
So people can live under it and not get wet when it rains.
So you can stay under it during extremely cold temperatures and rainstorms.
Well, so you don't get rained on or cold or too hot.
I'm Pam Doty-Nation with Habitat for Humanity, and we are working with another housing organization called Homestretch. And what we're doing is planning together, collaborating to develop the depot property so that we'll have about 20 housing units there and a playground and maybe a few other things.
I didn't think that a program like this could work for me or was meant for me. I always thought there was someone else in more need than I was, and I wouldn't qualify. But then another friend of mine encouraged me, and he said they have a hard time finding qualified applicants, not only that fall into the income guidelines, but also make enough to be able to afford the payments. So I thought, okay.
All of a sudden we were down to one income looking for a place to live, and there's not a lot of decent sized places to live in with 2 children for the right price. So the affordable housing was a great idea.
What is affordable housing?
There's a lot of people here that do have a lot of money, but the people that are working in the restaurants and at the gas stations and doing the cleaning and those kinds of things, or even working as bank tellers, aren't making enough money to be able to afford a mortgage. And so what we do is try to build housing that's nice, energy efficient, and is really affordable for the families.
How much do you think an affordable house should cost?
For free, $3,000.
$50,000 maybe?
I don't know. About like 100,000 to like 250,000.
Why do you think affordable housing is important to the community?
Without a community benefit to each and every one of the citizens, it's not a community. So if you want a community to grow and be a great place to raise children, to grow up in, and to do business in, you've got to serve every aspect of the economy and the population.
Because there's very little of it. Going back to the 90s, there was a housing needs study done that said that there was actually an affordable housing crisis. There was a very big shortage of affordable units in the Grand Traverse area. That people who were working here were having a hard time finding homes to live in. They were driving long distances to get here, and so it was decided we needed to build affordable housing in this area, right in and around Traverse City.
What are some misconceptions about affordable housing?
Misconceptions about affordable housing is that they all look alike, or they're cheaply made, or they're not energy efficient. Totally to the contrary. The way to make property and or housing affordable is the first in cost and the operational cost long term.
Well, one is there's always been a perception that it's ugly, which it's not. All of our homes fit into the neighborhoods in which they're being built. In some cases they look a little nicer than the homes in the neighborhoods that we're building in. So that's a perception we've been working from the beginning to dispel.
Well, I think one big misconception is if affordable housing is built in my neighborhood, then the prices of my house, the worth of my house is going to go down. And it's proven that that's not true. Even when you put new affordable housing in a community, it tends to even make the housing prices increase a little bit.
how the house is going to be as close to net zero energy as possible.
Like, I don't know. It's like, I have no idea.
Well, that's a really good question. We are looking at doing what is called a passive house design. And what that means, there's a lot of different ways to build a house, but a passive house design basically wraps the house so tight and is, the walls are so thick and the insulation is so good that virtually you could heat it like in the fall or early winter just with a hairdryer. That's how tight it is.
This project is very vital to the city of Traverse City as it adds vibrancy and brings people closer into the city. So it not only spruces up the city, but it adds to the lives of many people that will be living in this neighborhood. God bless.